Morning, everybody. Happy New Year to everybody. We want to welcome you to the Christian Authors on Tour TV show. We're going to get right into it today. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Coming in, we want you to share this. Today we have a great show. This is the first show of 2019.
My man.
2019 is here, y'all.
That's right.
2019, and we're starting this year off with a bang, as we want to, as we hope to. And this year I'm going to introduce y'all to this young gentleman, if y'all don't know him, in just a short minute. But as y'all know, we have to take care of the house announcements first. So I want to get into this just to give a little bit of housekeeping notes for the Christian Authors on Tour this year. I want to say that we not only have one calendar, but we actually have 3 calendars this year. So we have the Christian Authors on Tour ladies calendar. We also have the Christian Authors on Tour men's calendar. And then we also have the the Christian Authors on Tour sponsor calendar. And as you can see, I have one of the calendars here so you can actually see what this actually looks like. It's actually really nice calendar, really well done. For the month of January, we actually have, for the month of January this month, WBGR, which is where we are right now. We want to thank Mr. Lionel Green. We want to thank Mr. Tim Gray, that's right here next to me. And like I said, I'm going to introduce y'all to him first in a minute. But we wanted to let you all know that the calendar is available. You can go to the website, www.christianauthorsontour.com. Go to the products and services page. Click on that. You can actually purchase one or all 3 if you'd like. We highlight each of our sponsors, but we also, for the male and the female calendars, we have an author each month that we kind of highlight, that we kind of give some information, background information on them. We give you their particular book that they have, their ministry, their message, their book that they have out or coming out that will be out this month. So we really want to, you really want to go ahead, and you can actually go to the Christian Authors on Tour website, purchase those calendars for you to be able to have as a keepsake, or like I said, to be able to get to know some very, very, very powerful, some influential authors that are doing some really big things that will be doing some really big things in 2019. So you want to get those, and that's 3 calendars, not just one, but 3 this year. So that's something that is really awesome. That Lynn, shout out to Lynn. As y'all can see, I'm kind of running solo today, But y'all know how we do. We keep it going. We keep it moving. Lynn, feel better. I know you're a little bit under the weather. Pastor Kevin, Happy New Year to you. We want to say Happy New Year to everyone again. And I want to actually get started. We're going to get started because we got a lot that we actually want to cover. And I want to introduce you all to the Vice President of Sales and Marketing.
Correct.
Of WBGR, which is none other than this gentleman right here to my left, Mr. Tim Gray. And we're going to talk a little bit about the great things that the WBGR network has going on, all the things that they have going on, and then more specifically for those authors that are tuned in, because we know you're tuned in, this is actually for you taking your book, giving you the process of talking to you about taking your book from actually where you have a physical book to actually having it on audio and the benefits of that. So I want to say welcome to you, sir. We appreciate you being on the show here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I know it's a busy Friday to say the least. But I want you to talk a little bit about the WBGR family, the WBGR network, and give us a little bit of history for those that are watching that may not be totally familiar with the history of WBGR, but then the network and then all of the things that you all have going on here.
Excellent. So once again, my name is Tim Day. I'm Vice President of Sales and Marketing for WBGR Network. We are a station. The actual station itself started off as an AM station in the beautiful city of Baltimore, Maryland, back in 1955. The station has a rich history. It was actually a gospel station on the AM. It was WBGR AM 860. So those of you who are familiar, I think right now AM 600, Heaven 600 is doing a great job, but AM 860 was also one of the gospel stations of Baltimore. Lionel Green, which is who I work for, Lionel's a gospel singer. He's won 2 Stellar Awards for gospel. He also is a Grammy Award-winning producer. He has a Grammy for the Power Rangers song. Remember the kids cartoon, Go-Go Power Rangers? So that's Lionel Green. So he bought the station he bought the call letters about 9 years ago. He was believing God for a station called We Believe in God Radio. He didn't know who had the call letters at the time. He was in the business where he was actually producing CDs. So he had a client where they wanted to have 100 CDs duplicated for a funeral for someone that passed. So he's doing this job, he's recording it, and he said something said to listen to the CDs. So he listened to the CDs, and what ended up happening, it was actually the person from WBGR had passed away, and he was like, wow, this is what I was looking for. He made a business deal with them, and then he ended up getting the call letters.
Oh, cool.
So
That's good.
We've been doing this about 9 years. So we're a broadcast TV radio station. But we also, in addition to having some state-of-the-art recording studios for you having your own show, such as this great show here, we also do audiobooks. So that kind of gets us to where we are today.
Absolutely, and that's what we're kind of want to talk about today, because authors have to understand, for those of you that are either aspiring authors and then those that are already authors, want to understand that it's important that you have multiple streams of ways of being able to promote your book. Whether it's having through website, having your own website, having it on Amazon, having it on different places that it can be actually seen, whether it's through the bookstores that you may be affiliated with or kind of collaborating with or partnering with. But it's important that you have those venues to be able to get it out. But then there's also important that you have different ways to different formats that you have your book, that you kind of present your book in, because we're in the 21st century, and my thing is I'm really big on 21st century way of thinking.
Yes.
And that's big for me, because gone are the days where you just have a book,
right,
and you just have it in the physical form. Because
that's a nice book, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. But there's so many avenues the avenues that are out in this 21st century digitally. Whether it's through the Kindle, through Kindle, Nook and Kindle, that way where people are able to download, just download the book and be able to read it there on their, on their tablets and all of those devices and everything like that. But one of the ways that I think that has kind of come about and is kind of making its way even more so now is the audiobook.
Correct.
So I want you to talk a little bit about, first, what is an audiobook?
Okay, sure.
And what is an audiobook, and then we'll get into more about how that process and what they do.
Audiobook simply is a audio recording of a book. So example, let's just say Leroy here. Now, he has this incredible book, The Art of Leadership. So you all need to get this book. This guy knows something about leadership. You need to get this book. Get a little plug here. Now, what happens is authors get a book. Now it's to the day. I'm thinking like everybody got a book.
Right,
exactly. Like, even my barber has a book. I don't have a book yet, but I'm like, everybody has a book.
Right.
So we're in the day and age where a lot of people have books. And you're right. I believe in multiple streams of income.
Right, absolutely.
The Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1 through 6, it says, cast your bread upon the water, it will come back 7 or 8 different ways. NIV version says, invest what you have in several different business ventures, for you will get a return.
Oh, wow, okay.
Now, check this out. So, scripturally, we're supposed to have 7 or 8 different streams of income. Now, if you have one book, you have one stream. right?
Absolutely.
Now, you can do an ebook, you can do an audiobook. Now, I'm going to talk about audiobooks, and this is major. So I believe that whoever's reading your book, if they had the option to also buy your book and possibly get it in the audio version, ladies and gentlemen, you might get 2 sales out of that.
Exactly.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So now check this out. You're not only getting 2 sales out of it, you could then take your same book, and in this digital age of marketing, how many chapters do you have in here?
It's actually, I want to say 15.
My man. So check this out. How much does this book cost?
That's $15.
$15. Check this out. So this worked out perfectly. We've been playing this. So he could charge 99 cents per chapter. And there are people out here, well, maybe they don't want to make the investment of $15 or $16 to buy the book.
Okay.
But if I could then try buying the book by spending 99 cents, I might just pay 99 cents just to try the book.
Okay.
My guy I work for, Mr. Green, he has a colleague that made $100,000 off chapter 1.
Oh, wow.
Imagine this.
Wow.
Someone made $100,000. That was 100,000 people who bought chapter 1 but didn't necessarily buy chapter 2.
Wow.
That's a good problem to have.
Wow, you know, exactly. It's a great problem to have. Wow, 1 chapter.
1 chapter. So you got to think of this. Let's real quick. So right now, my background's marketing. So, and of course, what I've learned with marketing, having a degree and all that stuff, a lot of those rules for marketing kind of got thrown out the window now.
Okay.
Because the millennials, the way the millennials buy things is a little bit different than how everyone else buys things.
Absolutely.
So in this present day of buying things, there is a large number of people, not just millennials, just people across the board. We're fighting for time. We were just driving here. There was an accident on the road. So what usually happens is I have drive-by university where I like to put an audiobook in, and I like to get some nourishment for the day on whatever my day is going to be. So what if that person could download your book while they're stuck in traffic?
Absolutely.
What if they go to the gym and they can listen to your book while they're working out? Matter of fact, it's one of those things now. There's so much stuff going on with time. All of us are fighting for time.
Wow.
So just imagine if you took your book, put it in an audio form, and people could actually purchase your book. Now, I want to give some stats on the audiobook industry.
Absolutely.
Now, I believe this. If you get this, ladies and gentlemen, you can position yourself to make a lot of money. Now, I can't make any guarantees you can make any money. No guarantees in life, but taxes and death, right? Now, real quick, this is how this works. So, in the audiobook industry, currently right now, it's a $5 billion a year industry. Let me say it again. It's a $5 billion a year industry.
Wow.
This past year, 2018, I think it was half of that was the United States. So about 2.5 billion of that was just in the United States. The other 2.5 billion was overseas. It's a huge industry. Matter of fact, ebooks last year, ebooks had a decrease, a 3% decrease, but audiobooks had a 32% increase year over year.
Now, is there a particular reason for that?
I mean, I'm not the economist, but I'm kind of thinking this. Probably because, one, with the audio, I can download it on iTunes, I can download it on Spotify, I can get it from Google Play Store, Audibles, which is owned by Amazon. There's a lot of different ways. CD Baby. There's a lot of different places I can actually get this audiobook. So I think it's more so because people want the ease of use to be able to buy this thing to actually go ahead and read it or enjoy it for themselves.
Got you. So y'all get that $5 billion
with a B, $5 billion.
For the industry.
Now, how much of that do you want for yourself? Real quick, right now, shout out to Michelle Obama, and I don't know you personally, but you know, Michelle
First
Obama
lady.
right now, First Lady, she has the #1 book in America.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Right.
And she also has the #1 audio book in America. I think there's something there.
I would say that there's something there.
Now,
and she tapped into that too, so she obviously knew that number that she just gave.
Her husband, he's like, he got some top stuff going. I look at the list of audio. I mean, the Obamas are killing the audiobook industry. Doing an incredible job. Now, with that being said, now what's the value for you or me? Okay. The average author of a book, most authors in this day and age, they're going to self-publish their book.
Right.
The average the average author of a book makes between $1,000 and $7,000 off of the lifetime of their book. Now, why is that? The average author is going to sell to their network.
Right, absolutely.
So they're going to start off with 50 books,
right,
100 books, maybe 1,000 books.
Right.
Maybe you might sell 500 and have 500 in the garage. I don't know. But
Right.
it really comes down to your network. Now, the audiobook industry, the average audiobook author makes $100,000 off of their audiobook.
Really? Okay.
I'll say it again. The average audiobook author makes $100,000. Now, why is that? Because one, it's distributed in more places.
Okay.
I can actually send it to you in the form of a text. I can send it to you through email. I can send it to you through Facebook, through Instagram.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of ways you could distribute that information about that person's book.
Okay.
I can't always distribute this that way.
Right. Exactly. Now let me ask you this: for those authors that that want to do the audio book, but also are they go to different events.
Yes.
What is it? Are you able to have the? I guess is it beneficial to have that available so that when we have that
Yes.
intimate conversation
Right.
at an event or something?
Real quick, I was at a church function, and I saw this pastor, and he had a book, and he ran out of books. Now, this guy, I think, was from Phoenix, Arizona. He's locally. He ran out of books. I said, Pastor, I want to buy that book. He said, son, we're sold out. You can go to my website. I don't want to go to your website. That's a different experience. I might take 2 weeks to get that book. I wanted the book today. So I said, do you have an audiobook version? He said no. He just lost the sale.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you need to, in my opinion, you need to make the way of buying your product as easy as possible. Yes, you need to have your books on you. But if you have audiobooks, you might decide to give these books away and tell them to buy the audio. I mean, there's a whole lot of ways of marketing this.
Right.
But the whole point is this. In my opinion, you want to have multiple ways of getting the book out. Now, here at WBGR, the reason why I'm talking about this, we specialize in producing audiobooks.
Absolutely.
So if someone was to come to us and say, Tim, I want to get an audiobook done, well, ladies and gentlemen, we would basically give you a tour. So you can contact us, 301-429-9247. That's 301-429-9247. You can make a request about audiobooks, or you can actually just contact Lynn Pinder. She actually she can also give you information about how you can get an audiobook as well. Absolutely. Now, with this audiobook, we know a lot about audiobooks. Now, Mr. Lionel Green, which is who I work for, who runs this company, he produced an audiobook called 7 Steps to Put Yourself into the Music Industry. So he knows something about music. So he decided to create an audiobook, 7 Steps to Put Yourself into the Music Industry. Mr. Green, with this audiobook, sold 400,000 copies in 88 days.
Wow.
Say it again. Wow. He sold 400,000 copies of this in 88 days. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an open industry. As a matter of fact, right now, if you are an African-American author, the industry of audiobooks is made up of less than 1% of the authors that have audiobooks are African-American authors.
Now, is there a particular reason
I don't know.
for that?
I think probably information.
Okay.
For the most part, Amazon, I think, is one of the main companies that does audiobooks.
Right.
And their pricing is kind of higher. It's higher than what ours is, but this is one of those things where it's, the price, you're paying a little bit more money than what you would have spent on an actual book itself. So I think probably people are thinking as well, if I use this thing, I'm paying more money. There's no guarantees, but once again, you want to make this as easy as possible so people can actually purchase your product.
Absolutely.
And that's what we do here at WBGR.
Now, is there a particular strategy that you should have for being able to? Because you said he sold 400,000 of the audio of that. Is there a particular strategy as to why that was so successful?
Yes. So we actually we actually have some distribution deals here at our company with other distributors. So he was able to sell that through our distribution channels.
Okay, and that's one of the as a part of the audio, doing on the audio
correct.
with your services.
Correct.
Is that one of the what you all
can
offer?
get access
offer
to
with
that
them?
same distribution channel that he actually used. Or once again, then of course you can also put it on CD Baby and put it on iTunes and other distributors that actually do audiobooks as well, in addition to what we do.
Wow, I mean, and that's just I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking 99 cents per chapter.
Per chapter.
For a book.
Some people have 20 chapters in their book.
And I mean, just how phenomenal that is. And then even when I hope authors are listening and understand just about the strategy, the marketing strategy and branding strategy that you should have when it comes to being able to gain the exposure that you want. Because the more options you have for your book, the more exposure you can actually use, for people. So So understand that you want to understand that if it's something that you're not familiar with, the having the audio book, then you definitely want to contact WBGR so that they can talk to you about that option, and so that you can fully understand. Because I'm adamant about knowing knowledge is key. Because if you know the information and you have this new means of this new tool is what I call it, of being able to put your book out there, it can be successful, and that's what you want to set yourself up for. You want to set yourself up for success with that, and the more options that you give your customers, the more successful you can be. So I want you to really understand that and understand the importance of adding an audiobook. This is 2019, so you want to have a different way of thinking of how you can actually market your book. One, if you already have a book out there, then you certainly want to think, okay, this is another means for me to be able to put my book, to get my book out there.
I was at a function, and there was a room of 20 entrepreneurs.
Okay.
That 20 entrepreneurs, I asked the crowd, and these were all authors.
Okay.
I was amazed. Everyone in the audience had a book, except me, right? So I said, well, how many of you have audio books? 3 hands went up. Now, those 3 people were millionaires. See, what's one thing I learned? Wealthy people don't necessarily tell you how to become wealthy, but they simply leave clues.
They leave a blueprint.
That's a clue, hint, hint. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying you get an audiobook. I'm saying get yourself an audiobook if you have a book.
Right.
Because you want to have all the ways you can get paid by doing these books. Now, let's take this. So let's take most of our authors, people listed are Christian authors.
Absolutely.
So Pastor John Gray III has one of the #1 books in America right now. As a matter of fact. There's a list of the top 100 Christian books or religious books. He's I think his book is 30th. He's doing major numbers. All right. But the whole point is this: he has an audio book. That's a clue. There's another Miss Marshawn Evans Daniels. Actually, she's been here to our studio. She's a phenomenal writer. Her book is called Believe Bigger. Her book is in the top 100. Audiobooks, that's a clue, hint, hint. And then Devin Franklin and Megan Good.
Yes,
they have a book called The Wait.
The Wait.
They're also in the top 100 audiobooks. Now, the unfortunate thing here is there weren't a lot of Christian authors of color on this list. Now, does that mean there are not a lot of Christian authors that have audiobooks? Probably. I mean, that's probably a situation. That's something that could change. Now, it doesn't matter what ethnicity, what race you are. I think all of us need to have a way of helping our children's children by having another stream of income through having audiobooks.
And it says something that from that list that you just read off. It says something about that, but then also you talked about the Obamas. So it says something about having the audio book available for people, because like we said before, the millennials think differently.
Correct.
People in this 21st century are thinking different. So
Correct.
you have to think different about how you can, how you can get your book out there. And you want to have, like I said, you want to have as many tools as you can in your toolbox, because what that is going to allow you to do is to have, to be as successful as you can be. And what other way, what better way than to, if whether you're at an event, or even whether it's a speaking engagement, or whether you're at a book festival, or you're at an expo, any of those things that you might be a part of, and like Tim said, you run out of books for whatever reason.
Correct. It happens.
And you can say, well, you can get my audiobook. I have my audiobook available. And someone can go right there and download it, get it, and have it immediately, and not have to necessarily wait for to go to the website and to order.
So let's say this book, everybody to get this book, this is the book you need to get. Now check this out. So let's say you go to an event, because you travel. This guy travels all over the country doing workshops. So let's say you take your books with you. How do you take your books with you? You ship them.
Right. They have to either ship to our car, have
there's
to
a cost for shipping.
Exactly.
What if you just simply have a couple of these books, and then you tell the people you can also go and you can get the audiobook right now on your cell phone? You see that?
That's thinking outside. That's thinking the 21st century way. Because a lot of folks in this day and age, they use their phone for everything.
You got it.
They use their phone for everything. And I've said this before. Steve Jobs was just he's the most brilliant mind of the 21st century.
He had an audiobook too, by the way.
and I can believe it, because he gave us a problem that we didn't even know we had.
Right.
I said so. That's awesome that that you have to start to think about it that way and in that context. Now, are there any particular books that do better on audio?
Good question. So, great question. You set me up. All right. So, audiobooks, actually, the books that do the best they're title driven.
Okay.
So if you have like a 7 steps, 5 ways, like something that's title driven or a catchy name. Mm-hmm. So you got to think these people are making an impromptu decision. They're reading this book through a list of books, and they see something that catches their attention. Oh, let me see what that's about. Let me go ahead and get chapter 1 and hear what this book is about.
Right.
Now, if the book has a long title, they might say like, I don't know if I want to listen to this on the audio. Mm-hmm. Not to say it's not a good book, but like I said, a lot of these books are title driven. So if you have a really good, catchy title, then you'll be surprised how well that book does.
Well, that's awesome. And I see that our time is actually rolling down. So I want you to tell those folks that are watching and tuning in how they can connect with WBU and WBGR.
Sure. All right. So once again, Tim Day, you can give us a call today at area code 301-429-9247. That's 301-429-9247. You can just request about information about audiobooks, or you could ask for me as well. Or through this great show here, Miss Lynn Pinder, who actually helps do this show, you can get in touch with Lynn. She can also give you more information about getting audiobooks. To contact me directly, you can email me. My email address is timday at wbgrnetwork.com. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to come on your show.
No, we appreciate you coming on and talking about this and the great things that WBGR is doing and being at the forefront of this 21st century. So we want to thank Mr. Day for coming in today, sharing this great information that they shared with us today. So tune in next week to the Christian Authors on Tour TV show. We'll be back next week again. Y'all know 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Grace say p.m. but 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Here on the WBGR Gospel Network, and get that audio book. Think about having it done this year, put that on one of your assignments to do this year, is to have that audio book. So we want to thank y'all for tuning in. Christian Authors on Tour TV show. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.